Happy weekend, everybody. It is Napalm Dawn on G4G. This channel is located on YouTube, as you could certainly imagine. And today we're going to take a look at the newest release of the Marvel Heroes server and client emulator. Now, I'm not going to go through in this particular video how to get the Marvel Heroes files and do the installation and everything. You can see my first video that I did on Marvel Heroes in order to figure that one out. But we will do a little bit of a setup discussion. I want to thank Inc12342 on the Marvel Avengers Alliance Redux Discord for bringing this to my attention. He posted about it over here in the Redux Discord and said that Crypto137 has released a new server emulator. This link will be in the description. You're going to want to go ahead and follow this link, which will take you to GitHub, and then you can go ahead and download the newest files and then basically overwrite the existing files. So when you go to unzip this file that you download, you'll notice that it has the MH server emu and the Apache 2.4 folders in it, along with the batch files, the executables, DLLs, and everything. That will get extracted into your existing Marvel Heroes server folder, which in this particular case is here in the folder that I have called Marvel Heroes, or MH server. So I have the Marvel Heroes folder. I have the Marvel Heroes files that come from Steam and everything over here, and then the server is in this folder. So you extract the files here. You should have a directory that looks like this. Well, if you've been running the previous version, this would have all been set up. But this is what the final extraction looks like. The Apache 24 folder, the MH server emulator folder, and then these files. The first thing you do is run the setup Sorcerer Supreme if you have never run Marvel Heroes in the past. I'm not going to go through that in this particular video because I did it in my last one. So we're going to go ahead and skip a little bit. Once you have the files extracted, if you had an existing account, you should be good to go. So the first thing you do is start servers.bat. Now for my Windows 11 File Explorer, I have show extensions on. I always recommend this to people, even if you are a computer novice. The reason being is it helps you figure out different files from each other. Me being in IT, I've just been living this world for ages. I prefer to always have on computers that are mine, or I use at work, or I'm even connecting to for troubleshooting. I like to have show file extensions on. So the one that you're going to want to go to is going to be start servers or startservers.bat, which is a batch file. If you would like to confirm the authenticity of these files and make sure they don't do anything sketchy, if you right click on it and pick edit, you'll notice that basically it is starting a local version of an Apache server, and it fires up on that Apache server the Marvel Heroes server emulator. And then stop servers is just a kill task for all of them. So once you have the start servers.bat or the batch file launched, you'll get a command prompt or PowerShell output like this. When you see the line pop up that the authentication server is listening, and it has localhost port 8080, and then has game started, that's how you know that this file has now been complete. I would recommend, instead of closing it when it reaches this portion, to just minimize it. So you notice down here that I have Discord, but then two files open. One of them is the batch file that is running or started the server. And then this one is actually a semi-hidden task that is the local Apache web server. Leave these two running, and then you should be good to go. Once the start servers batch file has been executed and you get the two lines that I showed you about, you can go to startclient.bat. This is what actually gives you the former login experience to Marvel Heroes or Marvel Omega if you are a console person. Now, There is no discussion as of yet, nor do I think there ever will be, about Marvel Omega coming back to consoles. This is a question I got a lot in the previous video. I want you guys to understand that PCs are open. They're not open source. Windows is not open source. But Windows PCs, Linux PCs, even to some degrees Macs, they are open concept. Once you get them, you do whatever you want to them. You want to install files from the Microsoft Store, you're good. Steam, you're good. Epic, you're good. You want to download them from somewhere, just like Marvel Heroes server emulator and everything, you're good. On a console, you can't do that. Yes, you can have jailbroken PlayStations and you can have development mode Xboxes and everything, but nobody really tries to create a game for a very limited open structure console. To get this to run on an Xbox or a PlayStation is a bit of a stone too far, or a bridge too far, for you know, a non-software house or non-paid development team, because you have to get it authenticated to be able to be put on official stores, Microsoft Store or the Sony Store. That's not going to happen for fan projects and everything. You cannot go through the certification process for an intellectual property that you do not own. Now, Marvel Heroes and Marvel Avengers Alliance Redux are protected to a degree by a DMCA ruling on dead MMOs. You can get away with it, and at least in the case of Redux, when you don't charge any money for it, and I don't believe Marvel Heroes is going to go this way either, when you make it free and you don't charge money and nobody makes a profit, you can do certain things. Once you start charging money and you're like, okay, here's the zip file, but it's passworded until you pay to get the password or you pay to download it, that's when things get a little bit gray. And I really don't see crypto doing that. So, when you run that local host link that you saw in the file, you get taken to a location where you can make an account and password for your local server. I've already done that. Again, I'm not going to go over that in this video, so I'm just going to go ahead and log in with an account that I made.
Felt like I was back in the ice for a minute there.
If you cannot remember the account and password you made, just bring up the local webpage and create it again, or launch the other file, and I'll show that to you right now. Do the one that says start client autologin.bat. This one just takes you to essentially the game without any kind of login authentication. Do not ask about your previous accounts. That is not something that is accessible. That is something that died when Gazillion's servers died. And you would never want anybody, whether it be Redux or Marvel Heroes, to have access to old account data, as that contains logins, passwords, potentially credit card information. That's all super dicey, sketchy stuff, so don't ask anything about your old accounts. The reason why I'm logging back in again is I want to show you guys this splash screen, because it gives you the update. So, for the Marvel Heroes Server Emulator version 2.0, Crypto states, welcome to the second official release of the MH Server EMU. Over the past few months, we've been working hard on various core features of the game, including server-side game simulation, multiplayer, and loot. In this panel, you'll find an overview of what you can check out in this version 2.0 of the MH Server EMU. Use the navigation buttons at the bottom to browse. You can also bring up news at any time with end. You can play as any hero and use most of their powers. I have discovered that Carnage's left click is a little wonky. That's the only thing I've noticed that's a little off at the moment. I've tested Angela and Cable and Carnage, and so far so good, minus the one little hiccup. Carnage. You can change your costume by quote-unquote buying it in the game store. I thought I had a little bit of a problem with that before. Even though I had the credits, I think I got an unknown error, but I'll try it again. Currently, there is no character progression. You start at level 60. However, your stats are basic and you don't have gear. You'll see that in a moment. Only your costume selection and action bar powers are saved between sessions. You can explore the entire game and all regions are randomly generated. Regions refresh periodically as long as there are no players in them. I watched them refresh right in front of me. I had killed an elite and a pack of normals with them, and they were actually respawning as I was there doing some power swapping and everything. You can encounter enemies and deal damage to them, but most combat mechanics are not yet implemented. Enemies do drop loot. You can see and interact with other players as long as you're on the same server. So what that means, because there is no cloud server you're connecting to, this computer that you're seeing me record this on is the one that is running the Marvel Hero server on my network. If another computer on my network, like my girlfriend's or something, connected to this one, that's what they're talking about. In the previous version, you could see chat, but you couldn't see the friendly character running around. I do believe what they're saying at this point is that if my girlfriend was to log in and aim at the server running on this computer, also the one that I'm connecting to as a client, we would see each other. I believe that's what they're saying here, but I have not tested that. Implemented multiplayer, you can now see other players logged into the same server in game and interact with them, right? Hero swapping now happens in game with no loading screen. Confirm that it's working. Implemented the inventory system. You can pick up and drop items to the ground, stack them, equip them, unequip them. See items equipped on nearby heroes. Enemies drop loot. Oh, yes, they do. They very much drop loot now. A lot of it is not exactly... It's not hero defensive and offensive gear. It's like the ring slots and the relics and everything, but you'll see that in a bit. Currently, the loot system uses a placeholder loot table for all enemies. There is no affixed generation. That's probably why you're not getting like hero wearable gear. Implemented the Navi system. The server now has a representation of world geometry for collision detection. Implemented physics and locomotion systems, which makes it possible to synchronize the world entity movement between clients. You can type commands, exclamation point commands, in the chat window to see a useful list of server commands. Tower gets you here. Region warp gets you to a specific region. Item drop with a pattern modifier and item give drops or adds to your inventory the item that matches the provided search pattern. Now, I don't know if that means you could force drop, like, say, a shield for Captain America or boots or something like that. That might be possible. TP is a teleport. Teleports you within your current region to the coordinates. And achievement unlock 28 unlocks a specified achievement. And then links to their Discord and everything. So let's go to chat and say achievement 28. I don't even know what achievement 28 is. Actually, all right. So we'll do commands. Let's see. Try it again.
There's justice out there to be done.
Maybe unlock 28? Is that what I screwed up? Oh yeah, okay. Thanks gazillion. Achievement earned. Don't exactly know what that did. So I see interesting ones like account, achievement, AOI, debug, item, lookup, tower, jail, position, dance, TP, player, region, server, commands, etc. Alright. Oh my god. Captain America is doing the Charleston. Okay, yeah, I didn't need to see that. Vendors look blank again like they had the last time. That definitely was not mentioned. P is your power screen. This is where you can change things around. T is your hero roster. I'm going to pick Angela because I was playing her a little bit before, and I know which moves of hers actually work relatively well. R starts their free traversal mechanic. For some characters, it's a fly. Like for Carnage, it's web slinging, and it definitely does seem to respect the bounds of current map that you're on. So let's actually get to a place where we can do some combat. Before I pick Chapter 1 and Hell's Kitchen South, if you've played the game back in the day, you're going to be really familiar with this. You're going to remember the rooftop, going down off the rooftop, and there you go. I do want to bring her ultimate in. Which one didn't I like? G, yeah. So, Angela actually has a good combo of going into ADS, and she does some reasonable damage there. Also, her ultimate, spamming that, does some reasonable damage. So here's a pack of enemies. Here's an elite, regular people around it. Even though these are low-level mobs, and if you notice, I am a 60. You're still going to have some things going on with combat and everything. I have seen one of these mobs. I think they fired a gunshot at me one time, and
I will not allow it.
I didn't seem to do damage, but the combat is better than the last time that we had the Marvel Heroes server version. Her ultimate seems to pretty consistently put out damage, and it is spammable. I want to kill this pack here so you can get an idea of what is going on with the loot. The emotes, I can't remember if they were in the previous version, but they are definitely back, where characters complain quite heavily when you kill them, which is cool, like you broke my jaw, or I forget if there was like an I wasn't supposed to be around here today. I forget all the emotes, but they do proc relatively consistently, and as you can see, this pack is respawning while
Treasures
I'm
and trinkets mean little to me.
while
but a
I'm
weapon
here.
of war is invaluable.
I just heard Angela's voice again. I just figured I think that's probably Laura Bailey. Certainly sounded like her. So it really helps getting used to which abilities seem to consistently do damage. The last time I was logged in, I actually turned on the show damage numbers in the settings, and that seems to have stuck. Show outgoing damage numbers here. Not really concerned about enemy healing. I will do enable auto loot credit. However, I don't think I've seen credit.
My leg!
Yeah. You can see some runes have dropped, some relics. Some of what I noticed has dropped in this zone. As Crypto said, there were placeholders. That is why you're seeing some relatively high loot drop at such a basic area. But it certainly is fun to be sitting around doing this and beating up on mob packs, getting loot again. It really brings back a lot of fond memories. I'm actually like not trying to fight them right now. I'm trying to get the loot. So alt, similar if you're a Diablo player, alt of course brings up some bars and some tooltips, which makes it easy to go ahead and take a look at your loot on the ground. So if we notice here's an inventory system. I mean, this is really going to cause a lot of flashbacks for you guys if you've never seen this before. The crafting materials. God, wow. I remember these green things, the ionic particles, nanotech filaments. For relics and all, you could go ahead and right-click them and start equipping them. And they go into their appropriate slots. I've definitely seen rings drop. I actually got a 2. They're the ones that say that you light up if you do brutal strikes. I would think brutals were another form of saying crit, but I don't think I've actually seen that proc happen. I don't know if it's because I'm not doing a brutal strike or if the effect isn't happening, but yeah, I do see a lot of those items dropping. I'm going to go ahead and skip right to Secret Invasion. I don't know if I particularly remember this area that much from when the game was live. Believe it or not, I think I have seen more consistency out of combat when I'm fighting higher level mobs. I mean, I say that and I'm just sort of whiffing away here on these like level 55-ish punks, but overall I kind of feel like more of my abilities tend to hit at the higher level mobs than they do the lower level ones. Yeah, I could very well be dreaming on that. It's just something that I sort of feel.
Don't tell the boss about this.
Angela's ultimate is definitely a pretty solid ability. I feel like it connects more times than it doesn't. Let's go ahead and bring out somebody else. I remember Emma Frost. God, I wonder if I can private missions. Oh. Okay. Right, let's change this up a little bit. 7. Dinosaur Jungle. God, do I remember that location. Holy shit. Yeah. The river. God, I remember that tile set that had the long, long river on it. And I remember fighting along that river quite a bit. Alright, so Emma Frost. See, that's what they mean about the no loading. She just shows right up. Kneel before me. Let's see. She used to have that mind control ability that would turn enemies into basically pets. But I remember that was more back when everybody had 3 trees. And I don't know if she still has it. Let's see. Omega Telepath. Oh yeah, Psychic Domination, the brain on a plate ability. Okay. Let's see if that actually works. I'm really, really curious to see if I can mind control somebody. Not that it would do much, because enemies don't really fight back, but when its injuries become near fatal. Okay. So I'm gonna get this guy down a little bit lower. Okay, just blew up. That's
For me?
I expected a little much on that one, but yeah, that was really, really fun to do with Emma back in the day. Like, I remember when I first started playing her, like when she was new for everybody, you would just see the craziest mind control minions whenever you were in the hub areas and whatnot.
Your minds will shatter!
And I definitely remember like the big T-Rexes and the big mechs and everything like that. One thing I did notice is that when you change zones in this, your inventory does get wiped out. I don't really know if my equipment would get wiped out, so if I go back to Angela, I'm not too sure if her equipped items go away, so let's actually take a look at that. Yes, so equipped items do go away. So just be prepared for that. If you're in a zone and you decide to change things up, you are, at least as of right now, going to lose the items in your inventory. When the README mentions that you're going to lose things in between sessions, I considered that leaving the game and coming back. I did not know until earlier today that it actually goes away when you change zones. So, we've tried a couple. I've never played Green Goblin back in the day. I remember him as a villain. Let's see if his R's. Yep, that's what I expected for his free. Oh wow, he throws bombs when he flies? Huh. I wonder if that actually does damage or if that's just like random aesthetics. It seems like his pumpkin bomb hits pretty consistently. Channeled abilities, like what I'm doing with his S, the Goblin Gunner, these things tend to do damage on button press, but if you hold them down, I don't think I've seen continued damage from them. So like here, this Exploder Beetle in front of me, he takes damage when I actually hit S to launch it, but then if he's in a continued spray of it, he does not take damage, so heads up on that. Cable's got some gun abilities that are like that, where you can hold it down, but it does not do damage after the first shot. I'm pretty impressed with Green Goblin. It does seem like a lot of his abilities rather consistently hit. And we've got some stuff that we can equip here. So you can see artifacts tend to work, rings work. I have not tried the Uruforged slots, but like these things here, gear slots 1 and 2, these are the ones that I have not seen any drops on, but you might actually be able to force it with the commands and everything. Let's take a look at uniforms. So the store is X. You don't have to worry about quote-unquote buying a hero because they are all owned. I had some problems with Angela before, so I will go to somebody else. Let's try Black Panther. And Black Panther Urban. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I get that unknown error when I try it. Yeah, that part there, I'm not too sure. What's going on with that? I thought I remembered getting uniforms in the older version. It's been a while since I've tried it. Yeah, see, all the heroes are owned. Costumes have a little bit of an issue. These I would not expect. Yeah, I did not expect that to work. It says we actually own all of the team-ups, so that could be interesting. Here is a specials menu for the more expensive uniforms. Team-up. Yeah, team ups definitely do not seem implemented there. I wonder if shield kits do. Yeah, okay. Looks like healing would actually work. We know what news brings. Social panel. That's an interesting social panel. Pizza Time. David Brevik, who was the good David that used to work on the project. This is not actually a real person because nobody's connected to my server. Doomsaw, Rogue Server Enjoyer. There's Crypto. Here's the achievement, but it doesn't seem like the achievement that I gave myself before is listed. Yeah, okay. We're heroes. Yeah, I thought I remembered doing some stuff with the uniforms last time. Oh, hey, wait a minute. Okay, let's see what we get. Let's do. Yeah, all right. Didn't think so on that one. Okay, so that is an example of what is going on here in the 2.0 version of the Marvel Heroes server emulator. You can get into subzones. I've not had any issues going through portals like the one that I just went through over here.
I don't think so.
Definitely some abilities have cooldowns, some don't. Actually, Emma's D seems to be going pretty good. I don't think I lost my inventory just for this minor zone in. Maybe. Chests I've noticed don't work. I've encountered a few chests and they do not open. So if you happen to know what's going on with the uniforms, definitely let me know down in the comments below, as I definitely don't seem to be able to get the uniforms to work. And I thought maybe in the previous version that they did, but I could be wrong there. I think I do remember that error about an unknown error has occurred when you're doing the purchasing. And I could swear, I'd have to check the comments on the old video. I thought somebody did say, oh, like, do it this way and it works or something like that, but kind of drawn a blank. It's been a bit since I played it. So, there you go, guys. Marvel Heroes Server Emulator 2.0. Link will be down in the description. Hope you get the chance to download it and try it out. You can see the previous video I did for the setup instructions, like how to get the Marvel Heroes files again. It is easier if you had owned it on Steam at the time. When I was playing it on the PC, I was playing it through Gazillion's launcher, so I did have to go to the archive.org files and get it that way. So, thanks for checking out this video, everybody. Leave a comment down below if you got anything to say about the video, and I will see you guys later.